You've ridden a motorcycle that felt perfectly fine. No warning lights, no weird noises, no vibrations. Nothing felt wrong. And that's exactly the problem. Because some of the deadliest motorcycle failures don't scream, they whisper. Today, I'm going to show you a fault so silent, so subtle, that most riders will live their entire lives without knowing it exists, right up until the exact second it takes control away from them. This isn't a freak accident, it isn't rare, and it isn't about riding fast or reckless. This failure waits patiently. It hides inside a part you trust every single second you're on the bike, and once it decides to act, you don't get a second chance. Let me tell you how I discovered it. The bike felt normal, too normal. Steering was smooth, brakes were fine, no wobble, no pull, no drama. If I had been less experienced or more confident, I would have never noticed the tiny sign that something was wrong. At low speed, the handlebars didn't want to return to center naturally. Not much, just a millimeter. So small your brain ignores it. Most riders would. I almost did. Here's the terrifying part. This fault doesn't fail when you're parked. It doesn't fail during a test ride. It doesn't fail when your mechanic spins the wheel on a stand. It waits for speed. It waits for load. It waits for commitment. It waits for the exact moment you trust the bike completely. Before I tell you what it is, you need to understand something about how humans work. Your brain is designed to normalize danger. If something doesn't hurt you immediately, your mind labels it safe. That's why people ignore chest pain. That's why warning lights get taped over. That's why riders keep riding bikes that feel a little off. This fault exploits that weakness perfectly. Because every ride that ends safely makes you more confident, and confidence is what kills you. Let's talk about the moment it activates. You're cruising, not racing, not showing off, just riding. Then you lean slightly into a turn, and suddenly the bike doesn't lean with you. It leans past you. Your hands correct automatically, but the handlebars resist. Not violently, not dramatically, just enough to make the front feel heavy. That's when panic whispers its first word. Most riders react the wrong way here. They grip tighter, they fight the bars, they tense up, and that's when physics takes over. Because the fault isn't fighting you, it's fighting stability itself. Here's what's actually happening. Inside the neck of your motorcycle, the part that connects the frame to the front forks, there are steering head bearings. They're supposed to be smooth, perfectly aligned, invisible in operation. But over time, from potholes, from hard braking, from wheelies, from bad installation, from cheap factory tolerances, those bearings begin to wear unevenly. Not loose, not broken, they develop micro notches. Tiny grooves you can't feel with your fingers, but your bike can feel them at 60 miles per hour. This is where things turn deadly. At speed, your motorcycle constantly self-corrects. That's what keeps it upright. But those notches create false center points. The handlebars don't want to move smoothly. They want to snap from one micro position to another. So when you lean, the front end hesitates, then overcorrects, then locks into the next notch. That's when wobble becomes instability, and instability becomes loss of control. And here's the most terrifying truth.
This failure doesn't always crash you. Sometimes, it just scares you. A quick shake, a moment of what the hell was that? Then it's gone. And that moment is the most dangerous gift the bike can give you. Because now your brain says, see, you survived, it's fine. Days pass, weeks pass, you ride again. Same roads, same bike. The fault grows. Metal wears metal. Grooves deepen. Tolerance disappears. And one day, it doesn't come back. Let me paint that moment for you. You're on a highway ramp, long curve, nothing aggressive. Halfway through the turn, the bars stiffen. You countersteer. The bike resists. You correct harder. The front end suddenly falls inward. Your instincts scream to brake. That's when the front locks into a notch, and the bike does something no rider ever forgets. It stops listening. At this point, skill barely matters. You can be experienced, you can be trained, you can be cautious. Physics doesn't care. The bike oscillates, the steering locks and releases, traction vanishes, and the crash happens sideways, the most violent kind. Now here's the cruelest twist of all. After the crash, mechanics often miss it. They replace forks, they blame tires, they talk about speed. But unless someone checks the steering head bearings properly, not just visually, not just spinning, they'll never see it. Because this failure hides under load, and load is only present when you're riding. This is why so many riders swear the bike just did it on its own. They're not wrong. You want to know who this fault targets most? Not beginners, experienced riders. Because experienced riders trust their machines. They ride smoother, they push gently, they notice less. And that trust gives the fault time to mature. There are warning signs, but they're subtle. The bike doesn't self-center smoothly. A faint click when turning slowly, a vague front-end feeling on straight roads, a wobble that disappears when you speed up, uneven tire wear that doesn't make sense. Most riders ignore all of them because none of them feel urgent. Here's the sentence that should haunt every motorcyclist. The most dangerous failures don't feel dangerous until they're fatal. Now let me tell you how easily this could have been prevented. Steering head bearings should be inspected under load. Front wheel off the ground. Slow, precise movement. Feeling, not looking. And yet many bikes go years without this check because it's not flashy, it's not advertised, it doesn't sell parts, and it doesn't fail loudly. Some manufacturers quietly improved designs. Some didn't. Some bikes are more prone. Heavy front ends, aggressive geometry, hard braking machines. But no bike is immune. Not sport bikes, not cruisers, not adventure bikes. If it has handlebars, it can kill you this way. Here's the part no one likes hearing. You might be riding one right now, and you won't know it until the moment you need it most. So why am I telling you this? Not to scare you away from riding. Motorcycles are freedom. They're art, they're therapy. But freedom doesn't mean ignorance, and therapy shouldn't end in tragedy. If there's one thing you take from this video, let it be this. Check the parts you never think about. Fear the failures that don't announce themselves, and never trust it feels fine when your life is involved. Because the deadliest motorcycle fault in the world is the one that waits until you believe you're safe. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is awareness, and awareness saves lives. Ride smart, ride alive, and never ignore the whispering dangers.